Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to be able to speak to you today. Uh,
Likewise.
Maybe you could just kick off with a brief introduction. Where can viewers find Joe, kind of taking the action across the pond to London, and particularly where we can find your character? Because it's a bit of a mixed timeline when we first jump in, but sort of ballpark, where can we find your character and things when we jump in?
So our season sort of starts around about a year later after the last season. So you'll see Marianne a bit more settled into like the new life that she's had since she's run away from Madre Linda. You get to find a rawer version of Marianne, a truer version of Marianne that's very different from the librarian that we once saw her as. That she has no need to put on a show or she has no reason to be on her best behavior anymore. She can be absolutely herself. So you find her and Juliet having started their new life.
Mhm.
Mm.
And were you always a fan of the show, kind of before you were cast in season three? And what was the appeal for you for jumping on board? And it must have been so great to have the opportunity to come back for season four as well.
Yeah, so the appeal for me was one, not only that it was one of my favorite shows at the time, but also just I was excited about the prospect of Marianne and the different perspective that she could offer as a new obsession of Joe's. Starting with the fact that she is I'm a Black mixed race woman, so therefore Marianne is a Black mixed race woman, and seeing how what comes with being a Black woman and sort of the generational trauma, as well as the survival instinct, the strength that comes with that, of how that plays into Joe's story, and how can that foil things a bit or make things shake things up a little bit. um Sorry, but what was the second half of your question?
Oh yeah, just and the fact that you kind of had the opportunity, not even to be in season three, but then it was like, the opportunity to season four as well.
It was awesome. I mean, one being like, one of the longest survivors of of Joe Goldberg was really cool and exciting. I was like, oh, awesome. Um, but yeah, and two, I think being able to see two different sides of Marianne between the two seasons was really exciting for me. And very fun from an actor's perspective of being able to explore and see how get to see over time, like how a character changes, which you don't usually get in TV. Of like, you get season to season and you do over a long course of time, but in such quick succession, seeing two sides of a person, I think was really, really exciting.
And I think what sets the show apart is it's got such a very particular tone and humor, and the central character has such complexity. And I think Penn Badgley, there's not many actors that could carry that, particularly through this many seasons. So, how do you kind of see the show and why it's had this longevity, and particularly what's it like working with Penn?
Well, one, I think that this show is, I think that Sarah Gamble and our writing team are very clever. To take this, I guess what you would think would be a far-fetched concept, like, this guy that's going around stalking, killing people, and grounding it in so much reality of our real world, with the social media, with um, uh, 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 the accessibility that we have to one another now. I think it's a brilliant commentary on showing the effects of patriarchy, of toxic masculinity, and showing it in this light that, on one hand, sure, is comical and is entertaining, but poking the like sort of poking like the not poking the bear, but poking the other side to be like, but guys, this is like really real, is awesome. And then working with Penn is just, Penn's been one of my most favorite people to have ever worked with. He's incredible, as an actor, as a director, just a friend. Like, he's so generous and so kind on set to everyone, which is such a dream. Like, as an actor, especially somebody stepping onto an already established project, it can be like nerve-wracking sometimes. And he's the most welcoming number one. Like, he's just like, and if anybody has questions ever, like, I know I've probably asked Penn 1,000,001 questions, but he's always willing to be there and to help, which I've been so grateful for. And even times that he's helped me stand up for myself through the course of this show. So I'm eternally grateful to him. Yeah.
And I wonder if you could just say a quick word about Kaleidoscope, which is very, very innovative sounding show, and also how you see, opportunities out there. Like you mentioning your heritage, how are we seeing leaps forward in representation, particularly in the TV sphere?
I think that we've taken steps. I don't know if I can say leaps yet. I think that we're on our way, and that's really exciting. And I was very excited in playing Kaleidoscope to be the first time of me playing my actual ethnicity. Was very exciting, and to play it too in a way that it was normalized, like, because people like me are out in the world. We're not an alien or an anomaly or something that's, yeah, foreign. Like, there's a lot of us. So I think that doing shows like Kaleidoscope and that showing a character in that light is important, of showing that, like, this is another type of person in the world, that we can properly use our art to reflect back to the world of this is what we look like. But as far as the world, this is what we look like. So yeah, I think that we have definitely a more of a way to go, but I do appreciate the steps in just diversity in general that the industry has taken, and hope that it continues to flourish that way.
Absolutely. Well, I'm out of time, but thank you so much for sharing all that with me. Can't wait for everyone else to see you, and of course, Kaleidoscope. Thanks so much.
No, thank you, Sarah.
Cheers. Bye.